Business scope of Andrey Kletrov, CEO of Arctic Mining Group, is largely driven by strong know-how and attitude towards industrial IoT, digitalization and processes, and smart predictive maintenance. Andrey has a high substantial competence on development of the Arctic Russian industrial environment. So with his song, ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to talk about your business potential in the Arctic Russia mining. Andrey Kletrov.
Basically, it's not my melody. It's not my melody. You already know this Tchaikovsky, the Nutcracker. That's been my melody, but anyway, you know the tune. Well, thank you very much. I'm feeling really fortunate, and I'm really feeling privileged to be here today with the help to bring you some business ideas when it comes to this interesting, high marginal, but at the same time challenging Russian market. So a bit about myself. I was born in Murmansk and have been living there all my life. So, as for my professional career, I've been involved mainly in, and I've been working with industries, different industries, started from construction and these days with the mining business. Overall, 16 years of international trade in different positions, and I would like to stress it out. My 5 years in FinPro. I was running the Murmansk office while being in FinPro, and I would like to say huge thanks to the organization, because it's a real Finnish organization and it really provided with a strong competence and the network in Finland. That's a huge benefit these days for me. So, and 2 years ago I founded the Arctic Mining. That's the company which main business sphere is the Russian mining. So my customers, Russian mines, my partners, small and medium-sized companies from Finland. So where is it? I just recall the joke. So when talking about Murmansk to people from Helsinki, so very often they're saying like, what kind of a dish is it, Murmansk? So I was told that in Finnish embassy. But anyway, you see where Murmansk is. This is 1,300 kilometers to Helsinki, 800 kilometers to Oulu. It takes 10 hours driving by car, but I drove to Rovaniemi and took a train. Yeah, and 600 kilometers to Rovaniemi. Well, Rovaniemi, kind of you can call it maybe my home base for many cases. So, what's in it? How does this business look like in Murmansk region? So, Murmansk region, the same as Kola Peninsula, as a locomotive of the Northwest mining. You see Europe's top 10 biggest mineral producers, and Russia's, of course, top 10 biggest mineral producers like Norilsk Nickel, Eurochem, Fosagro, Severstal, and Ekron. So all of them, they have their processing and extracting facilities in Murmansk. So you can say that in the vicinity of 300 kilometers, you have all these giants. So you got in the car. So in a couple of hours, you're at one of these huge mines, and you're having negotiations. Next day, you are visiting the same sized company of different brand, having the negotiations again with them. So you can see their sizing, right? Like 0.2 billion euros net profit for Norilsk Nickel, or for Eurochem 700 million euros. So they are huge. And map, naturally, Kola Peninsula, that's the center of mineral deposits. Nickel, copper, precious metals, all of it is there, all of it. That's a mining complex in its typical form. So they were born when it was Soviet Union. All of that maybe 60, 70 years ago. And quite big part of these mining complexes it still has, you know, Soviet features and Soviet forms. And from the distant look, it looks quite shabby. But anyway, mines are actively investing these days into upgrading and renovation of these facilities. But this mine, that's a very typical, maybe close 3,000 employees, and it's average working at these mines. And main highlights for Murmansk mining. So yes, it is attractive and profitable market, which again accumulates Russia's biggest and payable customers. It's really important in Russia to make it payable, to say that they are payable. So they are payable, and demand is stable. It's very stable for service and supply. And again, I've already mentioned that in the radius of 200, 300 kilometers, you have all of them with in many cases with the decision makers located, you know, local decision makers. Well, and I'm observing, from my point of view, that digitalization of the industry is just beginning to unfold. Industrial Internet of the Things, that I'm keen on these days, and that these are the companies I'm looking for to present them in the Russian market afterwards, especially for the mining. Preventive diagnostic, decision-making systems of performance and operations, virtual reality solutions for safety and trainings, and machine learning-based solutions for control and performance. I know that Finland is one of the best at it. That's why I'm here today. So, and as for annual investments, you can see that mines, Kola Peninsula mines, they invest approximately 250 million euros annually into infrastructure, into new purchases, into technologies, and so on and so on. So a bit more details about main highlights. Machinery and performance preventive diagnostic solutions bring huge potential, but we have tasks to be solved. For example, old machinery in many cases without cans, without these units, electronic units, delivering the signals from the engine or from other equipment installed inside the machine. So variety of brands. So for example, if there is a multi-brand diagnostic tool or solution, that's one of the ways when a company can easily go into the market. So because here we have Caterpillar, then comes Sandvik, then comes Metso. Well, every brand requires a separate diagnostic tool, but in case we get it together, so we're the winners. Data transmission and storage. Well, Russia is Russia, and IT departments, they are very concerned about that this IT infrastructure should be in closed circle. So they heavily accept the idea of making the data transmitted into the cloud service, or servers ideally should be based inside the company. That's one of the challenges, I'd say. Well, defining, again, this about the tools, defining the most critical parameters out of 1,000 signals flow for each case. For example, like average engine, it gives out thousands of signals every hour, every 10 minutes. So for in each mine's case, it will be a bit separate the solution for each mine, depending on what they want, on what kind of performance parameters they want to have. Performance and operational control solutions based on machine learning, decision-making and competence. You can see serious problems. And again, depending on the mine's sizes and on the quantity of personnel working there, lack of qualified professionals, it is a huge problem. That's why I can see that maybe in the scope of maybe 2-3 years, mines will be investing even heavily into the automated processes, because we don't simply have people, qualified people, for these tasks. And decision-making process on operational tasks is often ineffective. Too many involved, too many people with separate responsibilities. It impacts heavily on the performance and on the operational results of a mine. VR solutions for safety and trainings, very high potential, but it's not a secret that this business is on the grow. So, and the competition is quite tight. And again, the competition is growing, but price and included services matters. And I know at least 2 companies, 2 establishments in Finland, they will be very successful in the coming year, bringing their VR solutions for Russian mines. Circular economy is of the high point of interest. You may ask why. Industrial and extraction wastes have been accumulated for decades. And every now and then I take part in outside, discussions of the companies, and all of them, they're like speculating, they're considering what should they do with the wastes, how do they treat them in the most effective way. And here comes circular economy, and I'm not really familiar so far with the circular economy and the advantages or separate businesses it provides with, but I'm pretty sure that circular economy is one of the ways for the companies to make it in the most efficient way. And one of the Russian specifics is that towns near the mines are so-called mono-settlements, with a stronger dependency from a mine's activity in terms of employment and economical engagement of locals. So, and as far as I know, circular economy can bring extra working places and can create extra employment. Moreover, 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with the mayors of these 2 mono-settlements, and they were pretty fascinated with the idea that circular economy can build up employment in their mono-settlements. So, and they were willing to meet more professionals dealing with the circular economy. Social responsibilities of the anchor business is a huge issue in Russia. Yes, again and again. So here we're talking about like industries tightly combined with the mono-settlements and industries. They just simply have to invest into social projects. They have to. This is kind of a political reason. So it's pretty close to China. So Russia is quite heavily politically dependent country. So, and every huge business simply must invest into the social project and so on and so on. And employment, of course, one of the key points, because I'm pretty sure that, again, 3-5 years, automation systems and automation, digitalization will be massively coming to the mines, and mines, well, they will have to cut people. And here, circular economy, I think, brings very strong potential. Market entry. Network seriously matters. Here, I'd like to make some comment. So, because very often, when we're talking about doing the business in Russia, so we're talking about cultural barriers. I don't agree with this point, because like people in their 30s, even their 40s, so I hardly ever notice any cultural difference between like Russian businessmen, Finnish businessmen. So more or less, they are talking the same language. But I know it for sure as well that network in Finland also matters. So sometimes people simply must know you in order to bring you some projects or cooperate with you. Maybe in Russia, it's more serious. But anyway, connecting the dots. That's really important. You just imagine, you have your product, you have a service, and you have like maybe 10, 20 people involved in this process. And you simply have to define who is who and who is eventually will bring the decision towards your idea to be pushed forward in this funnel, sales funnel. So, and connecting the dot means defining the shortest route. Again, mass of people, so different responsibilities. Like almost everyone saying yes, I'm responsible for this, I'm responsible for that. So I think I'm able to solve your, to push you forward. It's not like that. You have to know, 2 or 3 persons to be contacted on a regular basis, out of 20. And making an elevator pitch. So it's really, really important to get people interested, to get people hear your idea, what you're talking about. Then comes visibility. You have to all the time communicate, and you have to all the time build up visibility of your product, of your solution. Then interest comes. Then comes understanding, then comes engagement, and then comes trial purchase or comes pilot project. That's as simple as that, but it takes time. Normally it takes 1 year for a company to go to the market and get their pilot project launched. And one of the market entry, one of the proven ideas how to work with the idea to reduce your costs, go-to-export costs, is a partnership with a local company or experienced expert as one of the few best ways to try the market. You see why? You see the reasons. It's all about savings, after all. So, and it's all about to see if your idea, if your product hits the market afterwards. And next one. Every new market has barriers to entry. And talking about the Russian market, simply ask yourself, what will happen if we ignore this market? But I have this spoiler. Russia, anyway, despite of any heavy stuff which is associated with Russia, anyway, Russia is ranked with the 6th position among the top 10 world leading economies with upper middle income economy. It's a highly marginable market afterwards. And one of the true definitions, to my opinion, of the Russian market is a big problems, but at the same time, it's a big opportunities. Thank you.